Yo. What's the motherfucking deal? It's your boy Professor Pippin's back in the building trying to make one of these videos for you guys. It's been a little while since I've been able to jump on the charts. Last week I had to move, so I was mostly trading out the phone. Didn't really go too well. I got clapped something serious in the Asian session last week on GJ and AU. GJ trading out the phone. I saw this little downtrend right here. I hopped in like right over here somewhere after we broke past the low of this candle. And yeah, I got smacked all of this right here. I didn't have normal stop losses simply because I saw these flat highs right here. So I said, yeah, price can come up here and liquidate those highs and then come back down. And then, once it gets close back to my entry, then I'll get out for a small loss or, you know, a reduced loss. I ain't get none of that. Full stop smack. I wanted to put an entry. I had originally an entry up here for the shorts, but that was back, when was this? February the 16th. Let me see. Come on, baby. Stop stalling. February 16th. So that was on Wednesday. So I had an entry right up in here on Wednesday somewhere. It would have been during the Asian session. This right here is 4 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. That's during the London Open, London session, and I don't trade in London. I trade the Asian. So what I saw was price action push up there, and it didn't come to my entry. My entry was 157, 220, something like that. I saw these big ass impulsing candles leaving that area. So I was like, damn, so I took the entry off. And then once we got down here, what I was doing was looking for a retest of these lows before, scoop and doodle back up to the top side. But that didn't happen. Took that entry off. And yeah, I had buys over here trying to get to that level. And then the first, this was Wednesday night Asian session. I got clapped over here. Came back the next day on Thursday. I got clapped, trying to continue those sell all the way back to the lows, got clapped over there. And it was just, it wasn't pretty much a good week for me. The week before was excellent. We had the gas. I had good trade setups. I caught most of these buys going this way and on AU. And things just worked out for me. But last week, it just what happened. So this week, we're trying to get back to it, trying to get back active. Show you these charts, how I got them marked up. Explain, my top-down analysis. Starting from the weekly, I know the market opens up in about 20 minutes. So I'm trying to kind of go through these kind of quickly, real quick. All right, let's get active. So from the beginning, I'm gonna start off with this DXY. Price action. I have currently already gone through and marked up my charts. Y'all know how I get down. If you watch previous videos, I go through and mark them up before I actually make the video. So that's why you got the markers already on the chart. It kind of helps me to keep the videos somewhat short, not be on here rambling and talking about necessary shit or guessing and trying to figure out what I'm looking for. So for the most part, I already went through, saw what I was looking for, marked it down, and I got it ready for y'all. So starting off with the DXY on the weekly. On DXY, we can see price action is bullish, coming all the way back from May of last year. We're completely bullish, higher highs and higher lows. We are respecting supports and breaking through resistance, making higher highs and higher lows on the price point. So that's how you identify your bullish trend based off the weekly. Based off last week's price action, we closed the week on a bullish doji. The week before that was a bullish candle. The week before that was a bearish engulfing. The 2-3 weeks before that were all bullish candles. For the most part, if price action is going to continue bullish, we can't confirm that this trend is going to continue bullish until we break above 97,400, 97,500 level. So for the most part, the way I would read this is this was the high, this was the higher low. Then we broke these highs over here from this higher low area. So that's why you got this gray box here. This is the new high that it produced, got the gray box up top. And then we theoretically, what we say, or what I say is, the only way to confirm this price is still bullish is we break the high. If we're looking for a reversal, we're looking for a break of the low, and then come back down here and start creating structure, lower lows and lower highs. Notes already created. Weekly time frame is bullish, creating higher highs and higher lows. Last week candle closed as a bullish doji. Speaking of this candle right here. All right, jumping down to the daily. Get my notes back over there too far away. Data. Going down to the daily. Still too far away. It's hot as a motherfucker up in here. All right, going down to the daily chart. Let's see what we got. Daily is bullish, higher highs and higher lows. We're looking at this. This is what a gray box is actually marked up off of. It's not marked off the weekly, but it's based off of how the candles will form on the daily chart. This is the, if you look, we got a high, we got a low, then we got a higher high. It has pulled back to the 78.6, and we're talking about this price action right here. Remember, I said based off of the weekly and based off of the daily, we're looking for price to break below this gray box. If we're looking for shorts, we're looking for price to break above here to confirm the trend and continue to go bullish. We have tapped the trend line based off of the weekly. I don't really trade based off the trend lines, but I just got it marked there for extra confluence. Hold on one second. What's up, G Money?
Surprise.
Oh, you don't have to wait. Let me finish up this video from talking to the world real quick, and then I'll come get you a surprise. Okay? Give me about 20 minutes. Okay? Give me about 20 minutes. All right, I'm back. So like I said, we have pulled back to the 0.786. If you draw the fields from this low to this high, this down about the 786 area, and we started pushing back bullishly. Just looking at this based off the daily, price action is able to do whatever it wants in between these two gray boxes. It can create uptrends, it can create downtrends, small time frame structures, all that good stuff. In order to verify that your trend is continuing, we need to break this high. In order to verify that we're reversing, we need to break this low and close below, and the same thing at the top. So for the most part right now, on the smaller time frames, we had a downtrend going. That doesn't necessarily mean the trend is bearish, but we had a bearish market for a few days, 4 days, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then for the past 2 weeks, or considering last week as well, we are bullish, making higher highs, breaking through resistances and respecting supports. So minor time frame, lower time frame structures, we were bearish back here, but now we're flipping back bullish. For the intraday time frames, if we are going to continue bullish, we need to break up this high at 96.446. Based off of notes, we have pulled back to the 0.786 bearishly of the bullish impulse, but still respecting the low that created the high. So we pulled back bearishly, still respecting this low that created the high. Could see price action pulling back to the low to fully retest the low at 95.022. So I could see this coming up here and giving you a double top action to actually come back down, give you a lower low and retest this low fully, because we came down towards this area here, but we didn't fully tap it. We didn't tap it at all. So before price pushes back up, it could just open up this week, especially with all this news going on, with all this war stuff going on. You know, it could just come up and just shoot up and create new highs and continue the trend. But from experience, you know, I would like to see price come back down here, fully retest this area before kicking Cadoodle up to the top side. So let me see, TP will be 97.070, 97.07. What we have with that? 97. Okay, yeah. So if price action pushes up through this level, or when price action pushes up through that 96.446 level, my TP or target area would be that 96.070 area. And then I would get out the markets and potentially just sit back and watch what price action is going to do. Just see what kind of setup is going to give us, see what kind of reaction we're going to get once we hit that ultimate high. Because you can best believe that there are some sellers sitting at this level simply by how this price action right here came down. If this was just take profit, and you would have saw like a little small drop, like something like you got right over here, then price chop around, whatever after it created the high. But this is a lot of bearish momentum right here. So you can best believe there are sellers sitting up here waiting to get in once price action get to that level. So we'll put the daily over here. We already read that. We read the weekly. Let's jump down to the 4H. Based off of the 4H, we are creating higher highs and higher lows. Make this a little bit bigger for everybody at home so you can see what's really going on. We are creating higher highs and higher lows based off of 4H. You got a low right here. We got a high, potentially higher low, because this area did not close below here. And then we got a new high up here with potential higher low right here. We can't necessarily count this as a new higher low simply because price action hasn't come above this high. So if price action does shoot above this area here, then we would now be, you know, identifying this area down here as a new higher low. Because of where price is, we would have to, because of where price action is, we'll have to definitely wait for a break of the 4H level before taking buy. So I wouldn't want to see, I wouldn't try to enter the market at all off of this price action for buy until we got above this 96,445. Now, some people would say that's buying the high, but it's a safe buy, you know, for the most part. Once price action gets above that level, it likes to continue to go bullish. But, you know, you can get caught in this range right up in here and get clapped left and right, and price still end up going into your direction. So definitely just waiting to see. We want some confirmations, some confluences before we get active to that top side. Bumping over to the 1H. What we got here is price has created a high above the range, which is this information right over here. Could potentially be a fake out, but the market did close on a bullish candle on Friday. So I have seen this plenty of times before. You think the market getting ready to go bullishly because it broke out of that range, and then all of a sudden market open, it just clap, come back down, retest some type of structure down here, and then get back active to the top side. 9 times out of 10, if you try to take this breakout, your stop's probably going to be somewhere, you know, under these candles here, or, you know, if you play in the long game, you can have it down here. But if that price action decides to melt, it can hit those stops and those stops, especially with all these flat lows. When I say flat lows, I mean, you know, people bought the market up here. Obviously they did because the price went up. People bought the market right here. Obviously they did because the price went up. You know, people bought the market here as well. Obviously they did because the price went up. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you took a buy from any of these areas, your stops are below here somewhere or below here. So if price comes down to liquidate y'all's ass or anybody who took buys from these areas, then it still has the ability to do that before kicking back to the top side. So that's pretty much what I got for the DXY. Overall, higher time frame bullish. We are playing inside of the daily range for the most part, where we have created higher highs and higher lows. So what we're looking for first confluence for the most part is to get out of this consolidation area that we're in now to continue to retest the highs. Depending on your experience level, depending on how long you've been in the market, depending on, you know, what you're looking for, you decide to wait, you know, you're looking at 84 ticks on the DXY, you know, you get the right lot size in there and make it day. Jumping down to UJ, pretty much the same thing. Watch that weekly chart, see what we're looking at. Let's get the weekly chart information up here. Okay. Put these back over there, so we ain't gotta go through all that extra. Okay, weekly. Weekly is bullish. Looks like the formation of a double top though. Okay. So what we were looking at, or what I saw when I was marking this up, we got a low, we got a high, potential higher low, new higher high, potential higher low, no new higher high. So this was the last higher low that gave you a new high based off the weekly, and once price pulled back, it did not have enough orders, it did not have enough gas, it did not have enough anything, whatever you want to classify it as, to push and create a new high. So this closure here and these closure here is what I would be basing the double top off of, or you can take it from the wicks, those two wicks, double top. You go down to the daily, you'll see it even better. But looking at that and going off experience, you see a double top on a weekly, that could be a powerful confirmation. And last week's candle closed bearishly, you know, so adding those 2 to 3 confluences together could potentially mean a trend reversal on the USD JPY, especially, like I said, with all this war stuff going on, all these talks, all this news. Price has been going crazy this last month, and it has made it somewhat difficult to trade. So definitely got to sit back and wait on your confluence, wait on your confirmations. We're gonna put a weekly over here. We're gonna jump down to the daily, see what we can find out. Going to the daily, these are the double tops that we identified on the weekly. Identifying the daily trend. Currently right now, we're bullish. The last 2 weeks did give us a bearish trend, but the way I would read it, the way I would look at it is this higher low area is what pushed us into the highs 2 to 3 weeks ago. And since then, we have been retracing for the most part, coming back down to potentially retest the zone that pushes us into the highs. Now, when you're looking at this, if you blank the charts, price action has already kind of struck into this higher low formation or area or zone, however you want to classify, and gave somewhat of a bullish reaction. But I wouldn't necessarily be ready to say we were ready to resume bullish, simply because we tapped into this zone, but we didn't break any structures. We didn't give any good gas, any good bullish momentum to the top side. We did close bullish, but I wouldn't classify this as enough to say we are ready to resume, to continue to go back bullish. So pretty much a waiting game on UJ right now. Based off the notes we already previously recorded, the retest has closed below 50%, meaning this price action here of the daily range. So price action could continue lower to fully retest the low that pushes us to the highs. So we pushed bullish. We came down and tried to make a new higher low. We tried to go up. We got some doji, and then we got a bearish close. Weak bullish, doji, however you want to look at them. Then price resumed back to the downside. Price action has pushed into the beginning of the structure that pushed us to the highs, which is down here by this wick here. But like I said, we did close bullishly. So market could open up right over here and just, start pushing back up and try to test those highs. It's a waiting game to see if that's going to happen right now. Jumping down to the 4H. I got this marked up to kind of find out or try to help me see when it's going to be ready to do that. So if price action comes out here and closes above 115.300 level, I'll probably take some scalp buys for price action to retest the lower high that pushed us into the lows on the daily intraday time frame. If that works out, then potentially, let's see what we're looking at here. Good 37 pips, 38 plus 40 pips, off an intraday scalp type trade setup. But for the most part, the way I identify or the way I try to look and see the market, if it's going to continue to go bullish based off of the higher time frames. I got my 4-hour levels marked up, and once price action breaks either way, bullishly or bearishly, it kind of gives me an indication of where price action wants to go. Now, based off experience, based off being a market a little bit, what I could see is price coming down, introducing some sellers, getting people to think, oh, we're going to continue to go bearishly. We could start right under this zone, liquidating these people and these people and these people, and then get back active to the top side, or we could come all the way down and fully tap into that the higher low zone that gave us the highs back over here, and then get active to the top side. So one of those two scenarios is what I would be anticipating / waiting to look and see if it happens. If not, if price action just comes over and this would be your high, this would be your higher low, then give you a new high. Possible buys above mean impulse buys for me. Continuation buys above mean break and retest buys for me. So right here in this area, I'm gonna be looking to get in immediately. As soon as we close above this area at 115,300, I'm looking to get active immediately on UJ. 1H does give out a shift of structure, but could be ready to buy. Let's see. Let's jump down to the 1H. Yeah. Okay. So reading this, we had a little downtrend. The later part of last week started Wednesday all the way through to about Thursday, Friday. This is my shift of structure right here. This candle right here. That's what I'm identifying as a shift of structure on the 1 hour. So like I said, price action could open up bearishly, tap back into this zone that kind of pushed us to break these this intraday smaller trend, smaller time frame trend here. Price could come back down to retest here and then just scoot up, or it could just open up and then be bullish and then just get active that way. So a couple different scenarios on GJ. Overall, I think we are still bullish. Yep, daily bullish. Weekly was my weekly information. Weekly bullish, but you cannot forget and cannot ignore that double top information that we read on the higher time frames. So if this double top is going to be effective and price action is going to continue to go bearish, then I'm looking for a close below 114.160 to confirm that, and then I would definitely just sit back and take the lower high trades bearishly back into a demand somewhere down here, possibly going into Monday, Tuesday. If we continue bearish, that'll be information I'll drop on those videos. If not, then you already know I'm going bullish back to the top side once we break 115.302. Scooting over to GJ, boy, GJ had me flustered last week. There were several impulse plays that came in and man, just had me all the way rattled. And I think a lot of it was because I was trying to trade off the phone. Trading off the phone is feasible. Trading off the phone can be profitable, but it is a lot harder than trading off a PC or a laptop. And I think most of it is simply because you can't see, from my experience, you can't see enough information. You can't see your levels clear as you can on the computer or the PC or the laptop, whatever you want to call it. It's just certain things I feel like you miss just because the data isn't as, you don't see as much data as you would as you would be looking at a computer, PC, computer, laptop, whatever you want to call it. But on a weekly, what we got here, see what we're working with 4H. Oh, go back. This. All right, so the weekly and the daily. All right, boom. So weekly, I'm seeing more of a consolidation. I'm seeing more of an area consolidation. Was creating high highs and high lows, but also created what looks like to be a double top plus a liquidity grab that formed a lower high. Okay, so we're gonna blank all that. Okay, I'm gonna reset these charts so I can identify that. All right, cool. So looking back at this information, we're making high, low, higher, high, potential equal low. Yep, equal low, higher, high, breaking that high, come back down, still respecting the lows. So in my uptrends, we are breaking through resistances and respecting supports. We broke through the resistance, came down, respected the support created over here, broke through the resistance, came down, respected the support again. But once we came down to the support one more time, we did not break the high over here. Then we came back down and tried to break through that resistance again, and it failed, or for the most part, from where price action is now, it has failed again. So these two areas, this area here would be my double top, and then this would be the lower high that I identified on the notes from marking up yesterday. So you got double top plus a lower high. Potentially, this market could be getting ready to drop. There's no confirmations on the sell right now. Everything is pretty much bullish, but reading what the chart is putting out, these could be bearish signals to say, okay, we getting ready to drop. We grabbed liquidity here. That would be the one conflicting confluence that I see here is we grabbed liquidity from everybody that was selling here, everybody that was selling here based off of this one candle. But this candle closed a weak bearish candle. As you can see back over here, once we grabbed liquidity, we took off to the downside. Let's see, this was the 18th, and this is the weekly chart. So that's way back in October too. Yeah, we ain't going back that far. But for the most part, we grabbed liquidity here and we just dropped off. This candle right here was bullish, grab liquidity. If we were going to continue to go bullish, I would expect price to close above that level, but it didn't. It came back down and closed below the resistance. And then the next weekly candle closed as a bearish, weak bearish, somewhat of a doji candle. So if price action starts to push down to this 154.053, and then if we definitely close below 152.911, then we definitely coming all the way back down. We got flat lows right here, so we're gonna swoop through all of them. That's an ass of liquidity piling up right there, and then where it's gonna stop at, ain't no telling, bro. Because yeah, we're gonna grab that liquidity and keep going to the bottom, but it'll be really tough to kind of call an area based off of this price action back over here to say where it could potentially stop. Overall, like I said, we are bullish, so let's stick with that for right now. This right here is part of the reason, because we have not been able to break these highs, is why I'm seeing more of a consolidation area. Like I said, we were creating higher highs and higher lows, but also created what looks to be like a double top, this area, that area, and then this area right here was your lower high created. Based off the daily. What notes that for the daily? Daily bullish / consolidating. Let's see what we got. We got a high, we got a low, we got a higher high. Can't confirm that higher low because we didn't break any highs right here. This actually looks like a lower high simply because this candle was bullish. It closed bullish. This candle was bearish. It closed bearish, and all of these highs from this intraday time frame are lower than these highs based over off of these intraday time frames over here. So on a daily, we look like we could be ready to pull back some more. Pull back and give a smaller time frame downtrend and come back down and test these test this higher low zone here that pushed us into the highs. Let's see what we got here. Has already fully retested the low that pushed us into the highs, then formed a lower high. And you see that as, you know, high, higher low, higher high. We came all the way back down to retest this zone right here based off of this wick that's here. Usually when you see that, if trend is going to continue in that bullish manner or in the same manner wherever price was going, you would have saw a new higher high based off of this touchdown here. It didn't give you that higher high, it gave you a higher low or a potential lower high. We can't confirm that lower high because we ain't broke no structure to the downside, but this potentially could be a lower high to kick and caboodle back to the downside and probably retest some structures back and down here. I do kind of see a little order block right here based off the daily. This right here came down and grabbed a whole bunch of orders and pushed us bullish. So we could come all the way back down to this, what is this, 153, 700 to 500 level. Yeah, but we would have to wait for that to develop because that would be a long-term deal. Oh, and the market just opened. Man, oh man, let me get through this. Price action has pushed below the 50% range. Price action pushed below and stay below the 50% range. 50% of this gray box and that gray box we push below and stay below. Let's hit that 4 hour. 4 hour definitely consolidating. Price moving left to right instead of highs to lows. All the way consolidating, but did hit the 4 hour order block and drop like a rock. Like I said, this is the area here that I identified as 4 hour order block. This is the wick that pushed into that zone. I had this trade set up. I took it away and it ended up hitting later in the week. Want to see how the retest shapes up and go from there. So we're basically looking to see how price, based off of this drop here, if we retest and start stalling out, back into the zone here, potentially could be looking for some shorts. Overall, higher time frames, somewhat bullish / consolidating. So it's kind of a sticky situation right now. So best bet will be to wait for the break of the 4 hour zones and then get active that way, because in between this zone right here, you can possibly get clapped a lot of different ways. And yeah, it wouldn't be fun. So let's see, GU is real ugly. Not a lot to talk about over GU. Jump out to the weekly, reset the chart, blank everything. For the most part, we were downtrending. We retested damn near 100% of the impulse that sent us to the lows, and then price action pulled back down, didn't really break any structure on the weekly, and then started pushing back bullishly on the daily. You can kind of confirm what you saw on the weekly. We were bearish, bullish, potentially retesting the area where we just came from, and then we went back bearish. Definitely on the daily, you can see breaks of structure of this uptrend right here. With this downtrend right here, you see the breaks of structure, but right now, a lot of this, especially on GU, depends on how you read the charts. For me, overall, this is still all bearish formation. So this is my impulse, this is my retracement, this is my impulse, this is my retracement of this last impulse here. And I got it marked up in my notes how far we pulled back. We retested all the way up to the 70% based off of the fib. So I see equal highs, I see equal lows. So I can see liquidity being grabbed from both sides. If we're gonna go bearish, we're gonna liquidate this side first, come up here and then drop like a rock. If we're gonna go bullish, we coming down to liquidate this zone first and then going high. But overall, I'm expecting some type of, I'm looking for some type of bearish play out. So going down to the 4H, I don't have a lot of notes on this one simply because once I got to the 4H and I was marking up, I saw consolidation, left to right movement, no higher highs, no higher lows, no lower lows, no lower highs. I identified a little small intraday time frame. I'm an intraday trend of higher highs and higher lows, but price is already broken. Price has already broken the trend line that was, pushing up higher, respecting supports, breaking through resistances, and it came down and broke through a resistance. So now I would look to see if we are respecting resistances and breaking through supports in order to take a little short in between this little consolidation zone. But I'm not 100%. I probably won't take nothing on GU simply because I don't like trading in these ranges, these consolidation zones, because you can and will get clapped. So bumping over to AU. Let me see. Market is open, so I'm trying to get through this quickly so I can get it out. It's been a busy life over here, man. I've been working, been putting in work on my trading. Had to move, yeah, and just doing a whole bunch of stuff that's been kind of keeping me distracted on the charts. But for the most part, overall bearish trend off the weekly. About 3 or 4, 5 weeks ago, we were bearish. The last 3 to 4 weeks, we've been retracing bullishly off the weekly. So this was our last 3 to 4 weeks, bullishly uptrend, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, failure to create a new high. Potentially this could be a lower high. So the 4-hour levels that majorly will tell us if we're going to continue bullishly will be based off of this zone here, and then the high on the 4-hour will be here. So a break of this zone up here at 72,488 will kind of confirm that we're going to go bullishly. We could not necessarily just a wick. We got, when I say breakthrough, I mean it pushed above and it closed above and it stayed above. That would be my influence. That price action going to continue to go bullishly on AU. Right now we're completely bearish. Higher time frame trend is bearish, but intraday trend is somewhat bullish. Kind of consolidating, no new highs, no new lows. So it's all about how you read the markets, how you want to come and get active. But with this breakdown, I'm kind of showing you how I read it and what I see. Based off of last week's price action, we have been uptrending on the 4H, breaking through resistance and respective supports. So what I would be looking for off of this, if price action is getting ready to spin around and drop bearish on these smaller time frames, I'm looking for a break through the support, you know, that kind of pushed us into the highs, come down, retest, and then potentially have some type of setup coming from these levels to take it lower. Higher highs and higher lows on the 4H, but the structure is funky. So overall, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of hard to read the way I read, simply just by marking up zones. But yeah, for the most part, it's a waiting game at this point. We got the weekly is bearish, the daily is bullish, 4 hours bullish. So overall, based off of that information, I possibly could be waiting on a buy setup, but based off experience, yeah, I think it's getting ready to drop. Continue this bear, go back into its bearish trend cycle. So the overall higher time frame trend is bearish. The intraday time frame I see is currently bullish. So what I will be doing is waiting for a price to start breaking through supports and respecting resistances before I start taking shorts. And that's only because the lower time frames are currently bullish. So be careful. Like what you see what you like. Make sure you got your confluences before you get in. If you got any questions, hit me up. I'm always, well, not always available because I've been busy as hell lately, but you know, I'm available. If you're really trying to reach me, you'll reach me. If you're not, then I'll holler at you on the next video. I'm out.